Hello, welcome back to my channel and thanks for clicking on this video. So today I'm going to be talking about books. So I'm going to do the book tag. It started with Steph Bohrer. I don't know how to say her last name, but anyway, it's a book tag and it's fun and I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. So let's just do this thing. So I have the questions here on my phone and we're just gonna go through them. So to start, a book that you tell everyone is your favorite. That's gonna be The Song of Achilles. I love this book so much. Like, all right, so number 2 is a book that is your guilty pleasure, and that is gonna have to be Twilight. I reread it for the first time as an adult last year and it hit even harder the second time. I love that book. Like, it hit so much better as an adult than it did as a child. So Twilight and the movies. The movies are also my guilty pleasure. Like, I love the movies, I love the books. I'm sorry, not sorry. A book everybody loved that you didn't. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And you know, take this with a grain of salt because I didn't even finish the book, but I was so bored. I didn't care. I was like, I can already tell where this is going. Like, I can already guess how this is gonna go. I can already guess why she chose Monique as the writer. Like, I just don't, I'm bored. I was so bored. So I DNF'd it. And everyone is like so obsessed with it and I just like didn't get it. A book you read the fastest. I don't know for sure, but I think it's probably The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, because it's a thriller, and once you like get to about halfway or a little bit before halfway, it starts moving really fast, and like you just want to know what happens, or you just want to know how it's going to end, if they're going to get away with it. Like, it's good. So I think I read this in maybe like one sitting in one day. So it was pretty fast. A book that deserves more hype. I know. So Happy for You by Celia Lasky. I think this one was actually really good. I think it is a unique plot and I think it like weaved together like suspense and like kind of dystopia in a really good way. Like, it's not really dystopia, but like sort of. It's like near future. So I just thought it was good. I think more people should read it. I think it's interesting. It starts getting you thinking a lot, and I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on the ending because I thought it was annoying, but like in a good way. But yeah, I would say So Happy for You by Celia Lasky. I want this to do more rounds on the book social medias because I think it could start a lot of really good conversations. If another book I think deserves more hype is Girls with Sharp Sticks. I don't remember who the author is and I don't have a hard copy, but it was so good. The build up and then the plot twist, just like was not expecting it. Like, did not expect that plot twist. Kind of dystopia sci-fi-ish, which I didn't know going into it. So maybe I shouldn't have just told you that. It's really good and I think that one deserves more hype. Okay. A book that is becoming a movie TV show. This one could also count for the first one, a book that you tell people is your favorite, because this is one of my favorites, like my favorite series of all time, but it is the Ugly series, okay? I would seriously just sell my soul for Scott Westerfeld. Like, I love these books so much. And they're becoming a movie, as far as I know. They've been in the works of becoming a movie for a long time. And they picked Joey King to play Tally, the main character. And I can't say I'm happy about that. So back when I first read it in like 6th grade, I was like, oh my gosh, like, why isn't this gonna become a movie? Because that was around the same time like Hunger Games, sort of, a little bit before, but like around the same time ish that Hunger Games was becoming a thing, and then Hunger Games got a movie, and I just was always like, okay, like Hunger Games is great, whatever, but like it's no uglies, like it's no uglies. And I kind of am like eating my words a little bit because I don't want them to ruin this story in this book with a bad movie, or I don't want them to like if it's gonna become a movie, it needs to be as big as Hunger Games. Like it needs to be so as well casted and well crafted as Hunger Games, or else you'd be doing the story a disservice. And considering the fact that like they've been talking about it becoming a movie for a long time, and we've yet to see like literally anything else about it, and also considering the fact that Joey King is gonna play the lead, like no hate against her, but I really don't think that was a good casting choice. I have low hopes for the movie, and it's really annoying because I absolutely love these books. Rant over on that one. Okay, a book you have reread the most. I'm gonna skip that one because I don't reread books. Probably Uglies at this point. I think I've read it twice. Like I really don't like rereading books. A book from a genre you don't typically read. I'm gonna have to go with Pond. I literally just finished this last night. But Pond by Claire Louise Bennett. I think so this is like, I don't even know what genre to put this in. It's literally just like stream of consciousness. Like you feel like you're reading this lady's, the main character, you feel like you're reading her journal. Like it has no point, it's no plot, there's literally nothing going on, you're just reading this lady's just like random musings. But I enjoyed it. It was like, it took me a while to get through. It's not big, it's not even 200 pages, but it took me a while to get through because it's so just like plotless. But that doesn't mean that it was bad. A book that deserves all the hype that it gets. Gonna have to go with Cultish by Amanda Montell. This is nonfiction, but it's the language of fanaticism. So it's basically talks about like, I love the cover too, but it basically talks about how like easy it is to fall into cult-like groups or into a literal cult based off of the way that they talk to you or talk about you or exclude you with language. And that language is really like the driver for how you create a cult-like group or cultish group. And so I think it's very interesting. I think like it gets you thinking like what kind of groups you're a part of, and like the language that you use that other people don't know, and how it can be very exclusionary in a way that makes you feel like you're like better because you're a part of this kind of group. Like for me, I'm thinking about being a student athlete, and like we had things like NARP and OTT that like people who weren't athletes don't know or don't use. I mean, I think a lot of people know NARP now, but like back when I was in college, like people really, like I don't think people knew really what NARP meant unless you were an athlete, unless you were not a NARP. But yeah, this Cultish by Amanda Montell I think definitely deserves the hype that it gets. A book you thought you would hate but ended up loving. That one is gonna have to be Waking Olivia by, I think it's like Elizabeth O'Rourke or something. It's on my Kindle and I can't like find it right now for some reason. But the cover of that book is so trash, and it just seems like it's gonna be a cheesy, like stupid romance or whatever. And then it was actually like pretty good. Like the plot was pretty good, and like figuring out why this girl sleep runs is pretty good. And like, I don't know, I devoured it. Like I ate it up. A book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. I'm gonna go with, what is that book called? Oh, Big Little Lies, Liane Moriarty. That is a great book, and it's like interesting, and it's like domestic thriller, but not anything crazy. I think it's a good starter book for a lot of people. I recommend it to my mom. I recommend it to like pretty much anyone because I think it's a good story, and it's easy to follow, and it's interesting, and it's like funny at times. So, and it has a show now, so you can watch the show after you read the book. So I recommend Big Little Lies, and I also recommend the audiobook version of it because I like the lady's voice, and she does a good job like changing her voice for each of them. A book that has your favorite characters. A Touch of Darkness, which is interesting because I don't think this is maybe something that a lot of people would guess for this kind of recommendation, but I do really like Persephone as she's written in this book. And you kind of despise Hades at first, but then you like him. And I like her best friend, and I like just like her like willingness to be herself, I guess, like her strength, like the way she fights to be herself. I like that about her. So I like the characters in this book, and I like the character arc that they have. A book you wish you could live in. Here's the thing. This is I'm gonna have to go with Magnolia Parks, simply because I don't want to be a part of any of their drama. I don't want to be like involved in any of it. I just would love to be a peripheral person in that friend group. Like, not anybody of like real importance. I don't want to be like dealing with their drama all the time, but I want to be in their world so that I know what's going on. Kind of like Tara. If you've read the book, then you know who I'm talking about. I would like to be like her, Tara Sachs. I'd like to be like her, because she just is like part of the friend group. Like, she knows what's going on, but she's not like actually in the drama. And all they do is just like be rich and pretty in London and New York. So why would I, and wear pretty clothes and go to like galas and stuff. Like, why would I not want to live like that? So Magnolia Parks. I really did not think I was gonna like it that much. I just like downloaded it and just to like see, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so stupid. And then I loved it. A book that made you cry, and a book you wish you could read for the first time again, I guess. So these are two that I've already mentioned. So Song of Achilles made me cry at the end. I probably cried the most at the end of this book than I have from any book, because it really just, I will probably say, is the one I really wish I could read for the first time again, is Uglies. I wish I could reread that for the first time as an adult, like ever as an adult, because I think it would like really slap me in the face how like messed up that world is, and like the commentary of real life that it is. Because like, you know, I understood what it was trying to say back when I was in 7th grade, but like it doesn't really like that whole series really. I wish I could reread it for the first time as an adult. But that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more book videos, well, I'm gonna post more book videos because I like reading. But yeah, that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.